All right, guys, here we're talking about Season 3, Episode 2 of Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yo.
All right, so we get a little bit more in this episode. We meet our knight character a little bit better. Still hate him.
Dalton sucks.
He's like the worst.
Dalton sucks.
Dalton sucks.
Why does he suck?
I just don't like his face.
Okay. There was an episode. I'm glad we're starting here because I have the worst thing to say about this.
Sure.
Do you remember the episode of Torchwood that begins with another character on the show that we as the audience don't know,
yes.
but every other character acts like he's supposed to be there, and it turns out to be this brilliant alien who's like hacked their brains into thinking he's supposed to be there? That's what it feels like, but it's not that.
I know it's not that.
I know it's not that, but it feels like that. Why is everyone accepting him? Ash hates people who like are good, and this guy's
No, this guy sucks. For no fault of his own. I don't like your face, and that's nothing against you. You can't change your face.
Damn,
it's
savage.
it's a character they got for you here.
Savage takedown.
No, because there's a certain thing going on with all of our characters, and not to insult any of our main characters. I love our main characters. But like, we don't have any like fake pretty actor people.
I thought you were gonna say that.
And this dude's like a pretty boy, and he almost looks like a little bit too old of a pretty boy to be playing the pretty boy he is. Like, and I know that this isn't a high school drama show, but it feels like it is when he's involved. And you know what I mean by that?
I do know what you mean. I never would have gone there, but yes.
Like the what was the guy from 90210 that was far too old, like the biker tough one?
Luke Perry?
Luke Perry.
Really?
Luke Perry, yeah. So,
how did I do that?
So I loved him as Pike in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but I hated him in that because I was like, are you like 38? Because they're like 28, but they're supposed to be 18. So what's going on?
You're an entirely different generation.
Yeah, like what was his name? Jason Green or what the fuck? One of them, like, I'm like, that guy looks like he's the right age.
Jason Priestley.
Priestley?
How do I know the characters of 90210?
Who's your favorite
Ask
show?
me another. Shannon Doherty. Yes!
The producer's daughter was?
Oh, I would have, yeah. I can see her face in my head, but I don't know her name.
Fair name, too.
Ha! Same time.
That doesn't matter. Regardless, what I'm saying is he doesn't seem to fit the pattern of like kind of a kooky, odd character.
Right.
It's like, oh, and then we got this guy from the pile of headshots, and I'm like,
he looks like a pile of headshots. No, exactly. He's like a pile
down to the perfectly like coiffed hair.
He's a pile of headshots in a trench coat.
Yeah.
He's not a character. Oh no.
No, isn't he in a leather jacket?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's savage. No, it's completely savage. Because we don't want to, like you said, we want to be very careful. So I'll be less careful because that's what I do, right? Kelly might be considered unconventionally, like attractive. Ash is like a mess, and Pablo's not like a leading man. Like when he takes off his shirt, you're like,
Pablo,
you're
can
an
see
actor.
they're doing things to like puffing his hair out weird and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're making him look more of the part that he has to play.
Yes.
But when he takes his shirt off, it's like a dude.
He's
like,
an actor.
Super
He's
sick
like
back.
a guy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Jack dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he's
like
a Hollywood
these are
guy.
all attractive people.
Yes.
I'm not saying they're not. Like Lee would do any of the three. That's just a fact. Bruce, give him a call.
I was like, you would do two of them. Which two? Put it in the comments below. No.
But what I'm saying is that he just doesn't seem to fit, and maybe they did something more to him. Maybe if he had like a big scar.
I was just gonna say big scar.
Or if his hair wasn't like fucking perfect, like this isn't Supernatural. We don't need models doing things.
Or I was gonna mention Supernatural, but I don't watch that show, and you do.
I like that show,
so I thought,
but that one works for me because it's a different show. It's established,
and everybody's like that,
and it's
right?
everyone is like that.
I gotcha.
There are no ugly characters. If there are, they're for super humor appeal. Like that is a WB look at all the models show. This is not that show. This is Stars, bitch. We spray blood and show titties. Like, give me what I want to see.
Both of those things. Yeah, I totally agree. That's a very savage analysis. I hope Dalton dies soon. Oh yeah, okay. Would it work for you if Ash was like making fun of him, calling him pretty boy, and doing all that stuff?
It would work a lot more for me. Yeah.
Why is he not doing that?
I don't know. It seems uncharacteristic.
Is it just too distracting with his daughter?
Or even if Ash was playing up things like, no, there's two good-looking guys, and like if he was anything relative to the man's looks, it is the exact opposite of when someone is cast to be the prettiest person in the world and no one makes reference to it. Right. He's a pretty boy. You should make reference to it.
He's a pretty boy.
Period.
I like it. No, I like it a lot. It's perfect.
Yeah, that's my only real problem with him. I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure his character will be good, but it's something I can't get it out of my head. I'm not looking past him. I'm not even hearing him properly when he's talking. It's what I'm thinking about.
I'm doing the thing like I was saying with the Torchwood episode where I'm like, is he supposed to be here? This feels so weird that he's here. Which I think
is he a demon?
Well, I hope he's not because that would be so dumb. well, maybe it'll be great, but like it just feels weird that he's there, and maybe that'll wear off, and we'll learn more about him. I think either way they could just like age out of that or go away.
Yes,
or
and
whatever.
he'll be featured less prominently, I think, soon, because you're gonna have more like the Ash baby and all that
things
shit
happening. Yeah.
Just have to shout out. I think you called that fucking shit.
Probably.
I think he has a fucking.
Wait, does he?
I think he has a hand that
Were
is
they
a
hiding
chainsaw.
it? No. Yeah.
I caught a glimpse of something, and it didn't.
He looks like misshapen still. I don't know if it's,
it looked like a skin-colored, jagged bit around his hand.
Really?
And I don't know what that is, but it may never be like and like move.
Right.
But I think it's gonna be some sort of a weapon.
She says something like, even though you were born in from the image of that idiot Ash, you're nothing like him. Something like that.
Yes.
But I don't know exactly what that means yet.
But they were careful to not really show it a lot. But I swear I saw it.
Okay.
Because I was watching it from like this close to the TV, so like,
okay,
like I'm like up in that shit. Like I think I see it. I think that's a.
You're going frame by frame. You're like,
well, no, I don't ever do things like that.
I know.
And like I was watching it pretty late into my shift, but I was watching it pretty closely.
And I'm like, yo,
I think that was it.
I guess I'll feel good. I thought I saw it in her belly ripple in the first episode.
That's why when you
okay.
And maybe I was looking because
put it in your head.
said that.
Yeah.
But you could like the image.
Okay.
Something is up with the hand.
I didn't catch it. I would love that, obviously. And she says, like...
I don't know how I feel about if that's like... I love whenever we get a prediction, but I also don't know how good that is.
I've never...
Total.
I only predict things that I'm never happy when they happen, so this is how this works. When
he predicted Dalton.
It's like a lose-lose premise for me, where I literally... If I'm like, yay! What I said happened... And I'm so disappointed in the episode or something. It's usually that. Because, if it's just like a flesh chainsaw, then how is that going to do something, right?
I don't know.
But it's magic. It's a magic baby.
I'm down for whatever, and the show has proven itself to, like entertain me for quite some time, so we'll see.
So this episode opens, speaking of the baby, we have Ruby swerving around.
Yeah.
It's raining, I think, or something, right? It's a bad scene.
It is raining. There's some hitchhikers on the side of the road. It looks like she's about to blast them one, and she like swerves, cuts, and then they're like, hello?
She gets like torn out,
blood
baby tears out
explosion inside the car, coating all the windows. Our hitchhiking man goes to like check on her.
Hello?
And just like sees Ruby's like rib cage is like jacked open, and like the
umbilical cord
is like out
going in the back
seat.
Yeah.
And then he's like sees
the umbilical
this
cord
baby.
is plugged into the cigarette lighter. It's a crazy scenario.
It was
like,
it was
it's
an
a
interesting
baby.
scene, and it was done really well.
Yeah, like what the hell? It's a baby. Like not like realistic, but that type of unrealistic that's realistic, where it's like, what is this or whatever? Oh, it's a baby. like gets all the teeth and all that stuff and starts eating them and everything like that.
No, it was well done enough, like as far as the Ash vs. Evil Dead world goes of puppetry and things. I was like, okay,
sure, that's
fine. Wasn't blown away. It was better than those like CGI dolls. But I'll always lean toward practical. Is like if I can, I enjoy the practical effect. Yeah. And I just thought something about the lighting of this shot and how it was filmed, like the movement of the camera all around the car and stuff. I thought it was really good. I was like, this reminds me more of a movie than a TV show. Yeah. And that I thought was just when you're elevating like the scene. You can kind of skimp a little bit on some other things, and I thought like maybe it could have been a little better prosthetic wise, but because everything was so good, I was like so into the scene that I was like, no, this is great.
That's one of my like final notes is that in general. So from the beginning all the way through the first scene in like Ash's house where Brandy's waking up and he's doing. There's a shot of him where like Pablo's like, what if you have more children out there? And he's like, oh no, and it like zooms around and goes back to him. Like that's kind of like a gimmicky shot, but just like the quality of the shots overall.
Yeah.
Focus racks and like that maneuver and just the lighting, and just felt really good. And I was like,
some of those
this
kids,
show's really good.
Like, that kind of looked like it could be him with somebody's kid. Like,
oh yeah, right. When they were like, "Hi, this is all your kids." His like weird like fantasy.
One of them in particular, and it's a very quick shot. Kind of reminded me of Bruce from Army, like from Evil Dead, like the original Evil Dead. Where I was like, it kind of has like the face and the thing.
That's Bruce's actual kid.
And I wonder.
I don't know. I didn't look anything up as usual.
But no, like,
overall,
good visual things have been happening, which are
I don't know
overall
if it, like,
elevating. I think
I don't know if
value.
I either got used to it or it like leveled off during the rest of the episode. But I was struck
The beginning was the strongest part for me.
Yeah.
And again, it could be.
But not even just the Ruby part, also him at the house. I'm like, I don't know if this was all just good or like why this is better than usual or something like that. But something about it.
By the time we got back to like the Seaman store, like things were back to
normal,
kind of how we usually shoot.
Because we watch a lot of things, and I was struck when I turned this on. Like,
this
is good.
Are very slapsticky and don't really lend themselves to a. They don't really lend themselves to real cinematic triumph level stuff.
Yeah.
But those first scenes, I was like, no, you're setting a stage. Like,
you're
that's
doing
the
thing.
shit.
You're drawing me in.
And you wonder for a moment, you're like, is Ruby dead?
Yeah.
Like, her ribs are busted open.
Exactly.
The last time she had kids, they stole her immortality.
Right.
If this did also, her ribs were cracked, she's dead.
I know.
But she's not dead.
No, and there was a cool thing. I wasn't sure if they were going for this. The umbilical cord is like moving. Yeah. I didn't know if I was meant to think like he's sucking the blood out of the guy and that's going into Ruby and like helping her like get back up. Because then she gets up. I don't know if that's how this works at all. I'm just throwing that out there as a cool little thing. It might have just been moving the way
I didn't think about it at all.
It might have just been moving the way like the phone cord's moving when you have it like really extended or whatever.
That's more what I took it as, but I don't hate the idea of
something cool about
recharging her battery.
That's like a vampire thing almost, but it's still cool to me that something's up. But yeah, she gets back up. She's all opened up. She's talking, doing her thing or whatever. Because this Ruby still has all the dark pacts that keep her from dying or something, whatever, however it works.
Now,
it's good times. Yeah.
We'll see. I don't the Tari baby things, they grew really fast. And I'm wondering how fast this one will grow, because it's not the same type of magical spell, but it is a magical spell. So presumably there's an extended warranty on shelf life type of thing where it's like, and like things are going to happen quickly.
I hope it grows fast, because it kind of has to for something to happen, unless the whole season is like the baby. Something interesting could happen
if you have a super powerful toddler or something like you could do a lot with that.
Yeah.
If you got like a 6-year-old, 10-year-old, it could all still work.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like really sadistic and powerful, like could be picking off his friends. I don't believe they had any inkling that they were canceled during the filming of this season.
That's a concern,
because we had at Comic-Con talks of what season 4 would be.
Oh no, that's right.
So either he was playing it really close to the vest there and doing fanfare, which he's a smart guy. He knows how to run a panel. That could be possible.
Do you remember what he said? I forget what he said.
He said, let's just say season 4, we're thinking about trying to get things back into the vein. We can't exactly do it of Ash versus Evil Dead. I mean, of Army of Darkness. Think Mad Max meets, I forgot the other thing he said was,
The Walking Dead.
Something, yeah.
But really just his show. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So time travel again, which we've already established is in this universe and can totally be done. We find out Ruby's plan, though, to finish this shard of the plot, right, is, she has to kill Ash. She has to make sure Ash can't have any other heirs, and he has to kill Ash's heir, because it's like being a slayer, where, like, the Hefe power will travel down the line.
The next one. Yeah, that's
but now
cool part of it, too.
But now she's created a, like, homunculus proxy that's, and, like,
it will get the
in
power,
line.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is so video gamey. This is awesome. I love this.
I
so
really wonder, though, because they didn't steal any records, it didn't seem, from the store. Like, he's been donating. They have whole, like, just sections that are just Ash juice.
Yeah, I know.
So, like, there's potentially a bunch of Ash everywhere.
Exactly.
Granted, also, the countless sex with the same condom he's been having, he could already have other kids.
He could have natural children. He could have children. But he heads to the sperm bank.
And we know for a fact he has a kid.
And as we alluded to before, he heads to the sperm bank. We get a nice whole thing. There's a magazine attacking him.
That was cool. I like how that worked.
At the same time.
I thought it was funny because, like, you see it crawl through some mess and then grabs him, and then later on you see the handprint there, and I was like, I like that worked. I think that's funny because it's not just like a handprint, like, oh, it happened, blah, blah, blah. We saw it all play out and set up. I thought it was a cool effect when he, he slams it in the drawer, he throws it, and it's moving. Like, I was like, that's pretty interesting. And I was thinking moments before it happened when they were showing the girl in the magazine, I'm like, I wonder if they have like stock images they use, or if they had to have a photo shoot to get girls to be in this fake magazine that Ash looks at in a show. And then, like, she moved, and I'm like, oh, okay, they filmed it. So that's a real thing. Okay, fantasy sequence. And then I'm like, oh, she's a Deadite. And it further sets aside that there are no rules whatsoever.
Absolutely none.
And I love that because evil could win like that.
Yep.
But they choose not to. They choose just to have fun or something. And that's cool.
You gotta go with it. You gotta be okay with it.
Yeah.
The show asks this of you, and if you're willing to sign up for it, it will reward you.
Well, in general, this show is not saying like, hey, we want to give you this true to character, this true to world, this set of rules, this thing we're looking at. We want to give you a fun time, show you some fun visuals, and that's it. And that's fine because it's escapism, like at its best almost, where I'm like, nothing makes sense. I can't really predict anything because anything can happen at any time. Yeah. Let's just roll with it.
I still have a bar for quality though, because that argument can work for anything. Transformers is my favorite movie. It's just a movie, whatever.
It never shows any reason or rationale of trying to be real in this show, while other shows do.
I think that they do it the right way, right? If we can phrase it like that, where like, if you're going to have a premise that would fall apart upon scrutiny, you should not invite that scrutiny.
Yes.
By having like, oh, he's lost too much blood or some dumb thing, and you're like, listen, don't make me think about the real world right now.
No.
Just be
and you have
the show.
ever increasing bad guy powered up stuff. So like maybe now they can do this. They couldn't do it before. Oh, it's magic. Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not Xena. I'm Lucy Lawless. I can do whatever I want.
They will often like drop in like a little thing where it's like, oh, Pablo's medallion was doing this, or like, oh, well, he's been marked, so he's got this, or oh, that's this, and now this, and since since someone else read from the book, now evil's here again, and weird stuff like that, right?
Yeah, they try to drop.
They make it up, but
some fan.
Right. It's not just like, oh, just for no reason or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, the scene was like gross, like I said. It didn't bother me as much.
Crouching tiger, hidden semen, just like.
She was like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
She was going. It was crazy. Yeah. Because there was that scene where Ash was fighting like inside of a corpse, and I was like, this was too gross for me. Apparently blood is no problem because blood's fake. No one really has blood. But poop and like actual bodily fluids that I see every day, that's gross because that's not good at all. And I thought this would be something like that. This was like the middle ground where I'm like, okay. As the scene came together,
I thought the humor played out around this one enough that I was like, okay, this carried. It was fun.
Well, the fight was interesting enough. He gets like the nitrogen tank, which they would need for the samples or whatever, and freezes her, and then she's not dead yet. Oh, he has to panic and like smash her and stuff. The usual Ash type of way of doing it.
Yeah, it was a good fight. It worked on it for a few levels. So we cut back. There's the drama between Pablo and everyone else because they're like, oh, he's touched by the demon. He's going to turn. The only way to do this is he's going to kill us or we're going to kill him.
I was going to say that before. The only issue with the only way they're using Dalton is Pablo's kind of like jealous of like, Kelly, what the hell is this? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Right? But that's not right. It's not enough.
No.
Yeah. But he's marked by the book. He gets visited by a sexy naked lady Brujo demon.
Yes.
Who's like, it's your uncle, stupid.
That's potentially a good Brujo demon.
Right? Yeah. Because she's like, your uncle, something, help you. And he's like, what? And the whole thing.
I wonder how that'll play out.
I don't know. How do you feel about the Brujo stuff in general?
I like the uncle.
They seem to have abandoned it now.
They have.
Yeah.
They come back to it when it's convenient.
Yes.
Seemingly his uncle is still Brujoing in the afterlife.
You got it.
Well, you can't quit now.
Can't stop Brujoing.
Have it. I don't know. We have to see where this plays out and exactly what this person does. This half-naked masked woman.
Yeah, I don't know if that was just a random vision or if that's going to be a thing.
I wonder. And that's what really...
But obviously, like, you've got Ash being like, I have to go check on some personal business. Open the store. And he's like, what? That's so dumb. Evil's back, dude. And then he's like, ugh. And then he gets visited by this otherworldly thing. And he's like, I do have to rise this and do more stuff. And then Dalton's like, we have to kill that guy? Right? And Kelly's like, whoa, dude, that's not cool. And right, so we have this nice... tapestry woven for us of the next few episodes of what I assume is going to happen.
Yeah, something will happen. Pablo will save Dalton, and Dalton will be like, hey, not that bad.
I guess he's okay after all.
Yeah.
But if those words start glowing, I'm going to blow your head off. My character sucks.
Something. My character sucks. Sorry.
My character sucks. So Ash brings his daughter back to school. Ixnay on the Erders May, all that stuff. Like, so you're new to this, you don't really understand, but implicating yourself in a double, triple murder, like, probably a bad idea. You're gonna want to avoid that.
Certainly.
And you're like, great.
All she wants to do is talk to her counselor, though.
I know.
And that's interesting when we find out who her counselor is. And it was pretty obvious.
When they weren't showing her face in like the hug scene, you're like, wait a minute.
So Lucy Lawless.
My reaction was actually like, wait, it's not gonna be. That can't be. What? That doesn't make any. What? Oh, and it was. It's Ruby.
Ruby the bad guy is also the psychiatrist for the thing. This was something stolen by the new Sabrina show.
Damn, Sabrina. Yeah, why gotta do Ash like that?
Yeah, the evil witch.
By the way, spoilers for Sabrina.
It's from the first episode.
Oh yeah, which I've seen.
Which you have seen
Interesting.
with me. So spoilers, are they?
Well, I meant for the audience, but more so for me. You're right. It's been out for a while. If you care about this type of genre, you've probably seen Sabrina.
What else happens in this episode? Are we missing anything?
we kind of packed it in. Like, it ends with her feeding, like, party fare, severed limbs to her child off camera.
That vaguely looked like the kid they just killed.
Yeah. Well, but I
like that he has the girl, like, she has the girl, like, tied up as, like, the nanny until we're going to feed you to her.
It's great.
That's cool.
What do you want from me? I don't know, an arm, a leg, something. He's not picky. Her whole fucking thing or whatever. So, like, we called out how good the head was last episode.
Yeah.
This episode, we have an awful head, right?
Yeah, that is prominently featured.
But that's what happens, right? That was Ash's ex-wife, or wife. Ex-living wife.
Well, and the best friend of the daughter.
Yeah.
Which were both done really well.
Okay,
Could be a different effects guy, date to date, or they spent a lot of time on one.
A less important head, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a like kill shot; it was just a static shot. So like when you're making that for the scene, you probably don't know how well it's going to be seen. And then like the guy's like, no, right there, front and center.
Yeah, and we just need that head's been dead for a while. It's probably fine. Like one eye was weird or something. Yeah. They were like,
Like the piercings looked weird to me. I was like, what's?
It was a weird, bad dead head.
Yeah.
I think we've even touched on what's going to happen next. I think it's clear what we're building into or whatever.
Sure.
We're still early in the season. I'm very sad that it's the last season. I believe it's 10 episodes, right?
Yes.
So we got 7 or 8 more to go.
Yeah.
Can't do math.
All right, guys. So that's this episode of Ash vs. Evil Dead. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we will see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.